Hello, second grade. Here we are in the attic still stuck behind that partition. Things are not looking good for our character, who is now going to be apparently hunted by the Grand High Witch herself. And things are not at all good for poor William and Mary getting the boot by the Grand High Witch. Things aren't looking good for anybody here. So let's see what happens in part 2 of chapter 9. Enjoy.
"What do we do with all those mice who have had their tails chopped off?" asked the audience. "You simmer them in frog juice for 1 hour," came the answer. "But listen to me. So far I have only given you the easy part of the recipe. The really difficult problem is to put in something that will have a genuine delayed action result, something that can be eaten by children on a certain day, but which will not start working on them until 9 o'clock the next morning when they arrive at school." "What did you come up with, oh brainy one?" they called out. "Tell us the great secret." "The secret," announced the Grand High Witch triumphantly, "is in an alarm clock." "An alarm clock," they cried. "It's a stroke of genius." "Of course it is," said the Grand High Witch. "You can set a 24-hour alarm clock today, and it will at exactly 9 o'clock tomorrow it will go off." "But we will need 5 million alarm clocks," cried the audience. "We will need one for each child." "Idiots," shouted the Grand High Witch. "If you are wanting to steak, you do not cook the whole cow. It is the same with alarm clocks. 1 clock will make enough for 1,000 children. Here's what you do. You set your alarm clock to go off at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. Then you roast it in the oven until it is crisp and tender. Are you writing this down?" "Yes, we are, your grandness, we are," they cried. "Next," said the Grand High Witch, "you take your boiled telescope and your fried mouse tails and your cooked mice and your roasted alarm clock, and all together you put them into the mixer. Then you mix them at full speed. This will give you a nice thick paste. While the mixer is still mixing, you must add it to the yolk of 1 Gruntel's egg." "A Gruntel's egg?" cried the audience. "We shall do that." Underneath all the clamor that was going on, I heard one witch in the back row saying to her neighbor, "I'm getting a bit old to go bird's nesting. Those ruddy Gruntles always nest very high up." "So you mix the egg in the egg," the Grand High Witch went on, "and one after the other, you also mix in the following items: the claw of the crab cruncher, the beak of a blabber snitch, the snout of a grobble squirt, and the tongue of a cat springer. I trust you are not having any trouble finding those." "Not at all," they cried out. "We will spear the blabbersmith and trap the crab cruncher and shoot the gobble squirt and catch the cat springer in his burrow." "Excellent," said the Grand High Witch. "When you have mixed everything together in the mixer, you will have a most marvelous looking green liquid. Put 1 drop, just 1 titchy droplet of this liquid into a chocolate or sweet, and at 9 o'clock the next morning, the child who ate it will turn into a mouse in 26 seconds. But 1 word of warning. Never increase the dose. Never put more than 1 drop into each sweet or chocolate. And never give more than 1 sweet or chocolate to each child. An overdose of delayed action mouse maker will mess up the timing of the alarm clock and cause the child to turn into a mouse too early. A large overdose might even have an instant effect, and you wouldn't want that, would you? You wouldn't want the children turning into mice right there in your sweet shops. That would give away the game. So be very careful. Do not overdose."
Well, I guess those are the things that you need to make this special formula delayed action mouse maker. So help me out, guys. What are some of the things we need? Frog juice. Yep. We need, what was that over there? Okay, yeah. We do need to have an alarm clock set to a very specific time. What else do we need? Over there. Rat tails, mouse tails, a lot of them fried. And Mr. Roald Dahl made up a bunch of creatures and things we needed from him, which is something he likes to do in his children's book. If you remember in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, all those creatures that were trying to eat the Oompa Loompas, all those different creatures that he names, and he's always making up fun things to talk about. So that's interesting in the book sense, but for our character who's still stuck and all the kids of England, this isn't good. Not good at all. So see you tomorrow or next episode for chapter 10. Wish us all luck up here. I want to get out of this attic. Bye.